Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. How are we all doing? I hope you're having a pleasant day. I've been back reading, story reading on the Epic of Gilgamesh and stuff, and you know what? These stories are fascinating stories of the Annunaki and stuff. I still do my Bible lessons and stuff, but I've really been into trying to figure out this damn creation story completely, and all of it. It just fascinates me, and I hope that the lessons that I bring to you about the stories that are taking place help bring you understanding too, because you have to understand that the tablets that we're looking at and stuff, I did a short this morning, the Bible was written by the tablets. You got to understand that they wrote these things on the tablets in clay because that they knew that these would last through the times. Okay, paper book or anything like that wouldn't last through the time. So when you're reading the Bible, you're reading a barrage of different books and stuff that's taken place. They speak about Gilgamesh in the Bible, but they don't go into great detail about him. And this is why I like to back read on these stories about these gods and try to find out who they are and what's going on. So they depict Yahweh. Well, this god here, Gilgamesh, I'm sorry, this is Gilgamesh, and they depict Gilgamesh here as holding a lion, like a little kitten in his hands, that he was a giant. But I must remind you that these are metaphors, okay? Someone that goes off to war and kills many people is known as a giant. Here, let me show you what I mean. Now, I don't know if many of you know or watch this movie, Gladiator. It's a pretty good movie in its time and stuff. Remember now, I don't watch movies for entertainment anymore. If I watch a movie, I watch the movie for the clips. I'm looking for clips where they're dropping truth bombs on you. So here, the gladiator is being marched off to the arena. And here's his first look at the arena. So this guy here on the right is wanting the Battle of Carthage. And this person over here is an old-time gladiator himself. And he's won favor with the people. And at this point in stage of the game, this guy here, this dweeb here, wants to kill all of this guy's best gladiators and stuff and put on the Battle of Carthage, okay?
If you want to give away the best gladiators in the whole of the empire, then I want double the rates.
So this is what I'm getting to a point here. This is where Lucius, the man who kills his father so that he can come into power, has a sister, and he's in love with his sister, and he wants to lay down with his sister, and his sister has a son. His son is Lucius. So Lucius is coming by and he sees the gladiator, and this is what he does. Here he is at the cage right here. He sees Russell Crowe. He flags him over.
Gladiator, are you the one they call the Spaniard? They said you were a giant.
They said you were a giant. Okay? So these are metaphors. So I'm putting it all together for you. That when they say that there's these big 30-foot giants, human beings, bones and stuff, that's all a shit show, folks, okay? That doesn't exist. It's metaphors. You got to understand what they're saying. Giants simply mean men that went off to war and capable of killing many in war. Their title as giants. That's how you get the San Francisco Giants. That's how you get the New York Giants. That's how you get the coast giants. Okay? People that are murderers. They're giants. So I'm going to be reading to you a little bit, and I hope you stick around to hear something of new information and start understanding what's going on. I'm going to be reading from you about the Sumerian gods. Why do some of the people equate Sumerian god Enki and with the Christian Satan? Enki, who is the goat, okay? He's a goat/fish god, symbol of the Capricorn. Symbol of the Capricorn, folks. Okay, the Capricorn is the ram. Understand, I'm going to make connections with you today. The ram. Ra. You got a lot of names we're going to be going that are going to be foreign to you that aren't in the Bible. But all of this, I'm going to make a connection and I'm going to blow you away. I'm going to connect all of what I show you today with scriptures as well. So Inky is the symbol of Capricorn with the element of earth. Dates of Capricorn between December 22nd and January 19th. This is all going to tie into the calendar, by the way. Okay? Shares remarkably similar stories with the triad of Mendes. Lower Egypt was Benendejet, Het-Mehet, Horus. Upper Egypt was Gnum, Hat-Mehet. Nun is portrayed as a green goat-headed with an image depicting him pouring water, as well known as the divine potter forming man from clay. Het-Mehet in both Upper and Lower Egypt as foremost of the fishes. Benendejet, goat head, gods sometimes depicted with 4 heads representing the 4 baths of the sun god Osiris, Geb, Shu, Ra, and Atum. Okay? This is where when you've seen a lot of my lessons that I attach Adam, A-D-A-M, to Atom, A-T-O-M, to Atum, A-T-U-M. There's your connections. There's your etymology for Osiris and Isis also bore the son Horus. The triads of Mendes are Benendejet, Het-Mehet, Horus, Num, Het-Mehet, Horus, Osiris, Isis, and Horus. The traits of Ptah, Osiris, Num. I know these names are all foreign to you, but it really starts when I start cross-referencing the Bible scriptures to what I'm reading to you and making the connection. It's going to make sense. It's going to make more sense to you. Understand that all of the ancient ancestors, that something was given power and created, that it was given the power to create a materialized world. The supreme spirit of truth, the living, self-existing, eternal creator, the living God, didn't create this plane of existence. A lower God created this plane of existence. And I know that a lot of you don't like hearing that, but I'm telling you, the information is in the book. It's really deep about the solstice and stuff, okay? So let's keep rolling. Thus bringing this aspect of the date December 22nd following the fall of Ptah, becoming the merciful lord of the underworld, Osiris, like Inky. Hey, you remember this scene here?
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Get down! Yeah, I know. It's just me. Come on, Pluto.
Okay, that right there within itself is a truth bomb. Something falling from the sky. A lamp falling from the sky. Because remember, this is the Truman Show. He's inside of a dome. Okay? So, he sees this thing fall from the sky. Let me fast. I got to get to a point here. He looks at it. What the hell's that? Picks it up, and Cyrus. Right there in your face, folks.
Here's a news flash just in.
Right there for you. Cyrus. Okay? These are different gods. You got gods of the sky, gods of the land, gods of the wind, gods, right? So they're telling you. All right? This is a firm truth bomb that we live underneath of a dome, that they're telling us that we live underneath of a dome. Also, Osiris had a brother, Set, who opposed his will, very similar to Inky's brother Enlil. You see, because Inky and Enlil almost went to war with one another, and also is the same with the two brothers Set and Osiris. Okay? On December 22nd, shortest day of the year, the winter solstice, the sun dies, dropping 10% south of its northern position. This day, Set becomes jealous that his wife started to have feelings for Osiris, his brother. Set then killed Osiris, cutting him into several pieces. Isis, Hatamahet, ordered 3 pyramids be built in correspondence with the constellations Orion. They are built over the span of 3 days as she gathered the pieces of Osiris and put them back together. After 3 days of both the sun and Osiris being dead on the 3rd day, the 3 king pyramids are presented. Isis, Hatmahet, used them to channel his life force back into his body. Isis takes on the form of a bird as he enters her body. And this is, there you go, the bird as he enters her body. Okay, excuse me, Isis. That's the god Isis. Give me 1 second. See, and this is the picture here. This is the goddess Isis, and she represents with the wings, because this is supposed to be a representation of the phoenix. Okay, also these are on the hieroglyphs that you look at as well. If you go and check out a lot of the hieroglyphs, Isis takes the form of a bird. As he enters her body in the form of lightning, he falls from the sky into her. He breathes life into his mouth using her wings to propel forth the life force into him. He is then reincarnated, born again on the 3rd day, December 25th, as Horus, the sun, as the sun itself returns to the northern position. So none of this has to deal with Jesus dying on a cross, folks. Okay? The sun dropping 10 degrees south on the 22nd and returning on the 25th. The solstice is also known as the Southern Cross. The sun died on the cross, and this is where you get your cross. This is why Jesus is always depicted on a cross. When Lucifer fell from heaven, it was said, I saw him fall like lightning from the sky, just like Osiris, or the light that I just showed you. So fell from the sky, just like Osiris. Okay, so there's no O there on the lamp, but it's definitely what they're talking about. Inky, Banadajadet, reflecting Lucifer's story so closely. It's as if Lucifer fell to earth as lightning into the womb of Mary and became Jesus. Now hold on here. Okay, here you have images of Zeus. Okay, Zeus is the god of electricity. This is why they depict him holding a lightning bolt in it. Okay, and then in Spanish, what do they say? They say Jesus, which means hell Zeus. That's what they're doing. Jesus means hell Zeus, the god of electricity, because he was thrown down like lightning. So I want to read that to you one more time before I read this parable to you. Okay, which ironically both Jesus and, let me back up here. Reflecting on Lucifer's story so closely, it's as if Lucifer fell to the earth as lightning into the womb of Mary and became Jesus. Okay, and then you have here Luke chapter 10, verse 18. So the 72 returned with joy and said, Lord, even the demons submit to us in your name. So he told them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven, because Satan is the god of lightning. Okay, so that ties you in with Jesus. Okay, it ties you in with Zeus. Zeus is the god of lightning. Satan tied in with lightning. Again, it's the same thing as this right here. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12, Bible Hub. Okay, this is the only time over here, look, in the King James, how thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer. Okay, it's the only time that Lucifer, this is one time that Lucifer is used in the Bible. You've fallen from heaven, O Lucifer. Lucifer in Latin means bearer of light, son of the morning. The son of the morning is also S-U-N. This is how I'm going to make a connection with you, pointing out to Jesus, okay? How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground like lightning, which did weaken the nations. What are the nations? The nations are the Gentile nations. Okay? So here you have Lucifer being referred to as the day star, pointing it out here for you, which is the shining one from Hala, the morning star. Satan, Lucifer here, is the shining one from Hala, the morning star. Okay? And then you have here Revelations chapter 22, verse 16, Bible Hub. 22:16 Bible Hub. Let's get it on. Jesus is coming here. This is Jesus. I, Jesus, have sent my angel, E-L, angel, to give you this testimony for the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright morning star. Kaboom. Okay, so Jesus is the bright morning star, and the day star is also the morning star. That also connects you, makes that connection for you between Satan, Lucifer, and Jesus. They're all one and the same, masquerading as different entities, okay? The fallen gods are multiple, are many, are plural. The supreme spirit is one. In order for those that want to return to spirit, you have to submit to the spirit of truth, the living supreme authority, the spirit of all, the creator. You have to submit. Okay, we are infinite pieces of God. So when God said, do not worship any other gods, we are the infinite pieces that fell away from God. God doesn't want us worshiping one another. He wants us loving one another. He wants us being kind to one another and tender and kind. He wants a blanket of love around everybody, but he doesn't want you worshiping one another. By loving one another, okay, you are one with God by loving one another. But when you are worshiping others before God, the Creator, then you're placing a God, a fallen angel, next to the Supreme Spirit of Truth. Rockin'. This is going to be a great lesson. If anybody's strong enough to stick it through, it might be a while. So what I've just shared with you, ironically, both Jesus and Lucifer share the same titles, such as the morning star, okay, and bringer of light or bearer of light, okay? Jesus tells you that he is the light, and Lucifer in Latin means bearer of light. So again, there you have a connection between Lucifer and Jesus. I don't play around. This is why nobody doesn't debate with me, man. You can't challenge somebody who understands the carnal material world versus the spiritual world. The spiritual world is real, folks. The spiritual world is what creates this reality that we're living in here right now. Also, both Jesus and Lucifer are associated with the planet Venus in the Bible. The planet Venus orbits in the shape of a 5-point star pentagram over the course of 8 years. Banadejet, Puta, Osiris, Nunum link with the planets Jupiter and Mercury. Enki, also written as the personification of Mercury. Enki's story carried on through Egypt. Kemet as Osiris. Num, Ptah, Panadejet. Thus being said, the god Baphomet associated with Lucifer and Satan is shown with a goat or a ram's head. Breast features of a woman with the staff of Osiris coming out of the waistband upon the chest, sharing both masculine and feminine features. Okay, so here we're looking at the Baphomet, and it's saying it has the body and of a masculine and a feminine, right? Okay, here again is the post, and here is the seed of Satan. Okay, it's our seed, folks. You understand? It's our seed that is the seed of Satan. You must swallow the pill and understand that we are all the offspring of Satan. And we will remain trapped in this reality, our souls trapped in this reality, this material world, as long as you do not submit to the Spirit of truth. Also, this ties us in with this male and female, okay? Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. Okay? Remember now, you have a supreme Spirit of God that's telling us that we're not to worship any other gods. Well, I'm telling you that this is another God right here. These gods that have tricked you into this reality and told you that you can create your own kingdoms, okay? There's only one kingdom of God, right? The Supreme Spirit. There's only one kingdom. That's the kingdom that we're trying to get back to. But see, on this plane of existence, what do you have? You have multiple kingdoms, and multiple kingdoms mean multiple kings and multiple priests and multiple people in power, okay? They're the ones that are ruling over us. We are spiritual beings, and they've trapped us in the flesh, and they titled us out a social security number inside of a flesh chute and gave us a straw man, and they made us slaves. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God, he created him, the Baphomet, male and female. Male and female. He created them, okay? It's one. This thing is what's being created here is a vile creature. It's a beast. It's a demon. It's the devil. This is the devil being created on the 6th day of creation. The devil creating himself on the 6th day of creation. This God here is Elohim. Elohim is again plural of Eloah, and it's gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used. Say it. This God is used of a supreme God. This God was permitted to create a man in his image, and it's this supreme God here that's saying, "Ye shall have no other gods beside you." Okay? In order to be one with God, you have to return to God. Then you have to give up the material realm. You have to give it up, folks. Those that love the world are at enmity with the Supreme Creator. So this creation here on the 6th day of creation is the Baphomet. It's the one that's with both male and female body parts. And that's the way I'm rolling, folks. Give me 1 second while I find where I'm at. So both Jesus and Lucifer are associated with the planet Venus in the Bible. The planet Venus orbits the shape of a 5-point star pentagram over the course of 8 years. Enki, also written as the personification of Mercury. Enki's story carried on through Egypt. Kemet as Osiris, Khnum, Ptah, Benedictet. Hey, and notice They do the same thing here as they did in the Bible. Both the Old Testament and the New Testament writings, what do? They repeat themselves. The chapters repeat themselves. The chapters repeat themselves. The chapters repeat themselves. So is the same with these tablets and stuff. The chapters keep repeating themselves. The names have all been changed in the Bible. This can also be called Gestu. Enki was a god of Gestu as well. Venus also displays characteristics of Gestu, as ancients viewed Venus as masculine in the morning as Lucifer and feminine in the evening as Aphrodite. So anytime that you have somebody as an image of God telling you that Venus here, they're deitizing these creations, okay? These are creations. Understand, we are all gods, but this is not the supreme God. We have to be gods. If God is telling us not to worship any other gods, then what other gods are he talking about? He's talking about us. When Jesus says, is it not written in your law that I've said you're gods? Matthew 10:34. Oh, wrong one. Did I not say that ye are gods? Jesus answered them, it is not written in your law, I said ye are gods. If he calls them gods unto whom the word of God came, and the scriptures cannot be broken, say ye of him, whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemous, because I said, I am the Son of God. So that is 10:34 of John. Jesus answered them, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods. So Jesus is saying that ye, us, we are gods. Is it not written in your law? What's the law? The law is the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. Well, there's much more to it than that. The law is ye are gods. Well, when Jesus says this parable here, when does he say it? He says it right here. For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eye will be opened and you will be like gods, knowing good and evil. King James Bible here says, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened and ye shall be as gods. So this is Jesus telling us what we are. He's sharing with us what we are, and we've been trapped, encapsulated in a lie into the flesh suit. Jesus wanted to bring out the best in us. Jesus wasn't God. He was only sent by God, as it says in Acts 2:22. This stuff can't be denied, man. Acts chapter 2, verse 22, Bible Hub. Right here, man. Men of Israel, listen to this message. Jesus of Nazareth was a man certified by God to you by miracles, wonders, and signs which God did among you through him. God performed miracles through Jesus among him, not Jesus performing miracles, as you yourself know. People that serve the Spirit of God know that the Spirit of God performed the miracles through Jesus. He used Jesus as a vessel. Jesus wasn't God. He was of God, as we are all of God, making us gods. We are the other gods, folks. The thing is we're not to be worshiping one another. And then you have a picture here of Aphrodite. All right? So anything that occupies a flesh suit, or they're giving you an image of, are not to be worshipped. That's all the Spirit is asking us. He's asking us not to worship creation. Everything that we've been taught about is all creation. Okay, this is why the Spirit is telling us not to worship creation, because he gave something power to trap your soul into this reality construct. Okay, you're trapped. Your soul has been trapped by these other gods. This is what I'm trying to teach you. Okay, also, guys, I need you to note The name of Jesus was never mentioned in any of the original Bible texts, not once, until the Romans came into Egypt. Right here, the Roman Catholic priests. Okay? So Jesus, the name Jesus never was ever mentioned until these parasites created you a new name and made you a god. Made you a god that died on a cross. I got news for you, man. Jesus Christ crucified is the God of the dead. Okay? He's dead on that cross, folks. Okay? He's not the God of the living. He's the God of the dead. So, any of the original, until the Roman Catholic Church came into Egypt, they stole this knowledge, rewrote the gospel, creating Roman Catholicism and Christianity as we know it today, enslaved the people of Egypt, and bestowed upon them the new gospel. And what have we learned at this channel here? The gospel is a ghost spell, okay? Ghost spell, gospel. That's why you have E-L. E-L is the god of electricity, okay? In the beginning is centropy. In the beginning, when God creates the heavens and the earth, when he creates the earth, that is the electrification of the materialized world. Okay, it's centropy. Okay, enslaved the people of Egypt and bestowed upon them a new gospel, sent crusades across the world spreading the new word, tracking down anyone who had trade with Egypt or still held the practices of the ancient knowledge, like pagans who they would call witches or deem satanic or evil. There is a great secret and power they were trying to keep from us in order for the Roman Catholics to become the world elite. Right there in your face, also elite, elite, L, God, L. L is not the supreme God Almighty. L is the lower dimensional God that created this world, the God of electricity, God L. The Spirit doesn't want us worshiping the world, then why would he create it? He didn't. Okay, it was created by a lower God, something evil that trapped us. And what's evil is trapping our souls from heaven. Tracking down anyone who had trade with Egypt or still held and practiced the ancient knowledge. Okay, there is great secrets and power they were trying to keep from us in order for the Roman Catholic to become the world elite. Within all of their allies in the world created churches, and only the highest members possess the truth and knowledge, while using their false gospel to teach us fruit of knowledge is forbidden, to obey and never question God through extortion, the threat of eternal in hell. Now this is kind of going into Gnostic Christianity, because the Gnostic Christians believed that the Supreme Spirit was one God. It wasn't until the Roman Catholic Church came in that it became a Trinity God. The knowledge they stole and hide is the magic with the K at the end, and knowledge gifted by Enki and Lucifer, which the Bible doesn't directly tell us what it was. Forbidden, right? One end of Enki's story they misconstrue, thinking maybe he was evil because he told the king to refuse Anus' offer of immortality. Now this knowledge he gave us was of conscience evolution, the practice of the Kundalini awakening, the third eye, which connects us with the source, the universe, and the all, also referred to as God or Christ consciousness. We do not need gifted immortality, for we possess the ability to become gods ourselves. Through this practice, we currently live in 4D. With awakening, we become aware of a 5D and a higher dimension, which comes from the advantage in the afterlife to ascend without recycling back into a 4D or descending back to 3D. Amazing. And where are we at now? The 5G network. Egyptians would weigh our hearts against a feather to determine our fate after death if we ascend, descend, or recycle. See, the Egyptians believe that your heart is taken from your body at death and it's placed on a scale with a feather. And if your heart is with sin and iniquity and the scale isn't as light as a feather, then you'll be found guilty. What the price for that guilt is? Reincarnation back into another body to live another life. What we're trying to do is we're trying to escape this world. That can only come from the Supreme Spirit of Truth. Remember, He created good and He created evil. And He allowed good and evil to create this plane of existence. Or He allowed evil to create this plane of existence and then created what was good and put it in. Why? Why do you suppose He did something like that? Probably because He was putting His spirit back into a system that was dead. You understand? Because this plane of existence is a plane of death. And it was the only way that He could give us a chance to survive was to put His spirit back into another creation that was good. And it's through this creation that is good that we're able to learn, okay? Not make amends through, but learn from, okay? Hear the message from somebody who has this wisdom and insight. Okay, Egyptians would weigh hearts against a feather to determine our fate after death. Okay, that's a typo. The eye of Horus, or the all-seeing eye, represents the pineal gland in our brains, which is the eye on the top of the dollar bill, the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye is the government, folks. Aren't they watching us? Don't they have cameras at every street post now? Don't they got you with smartphones and cameras on your doorsteps and stuff like that? You don't get it. When you hook up a camera like that to your house, they have access to it. So the government has access to all the streets, okay? And then they have an AI that's watching and monitoring. And then when the AI catches a catchword, it sends it to a human, and then a human takes over and decides what they're going to do from there. But most comments that don't make it to the internet are shut down because of AI, not because of a human. Think of what I just said to you. There's no way that 7 billion people could be monitored by, look, I think 2,800 people. How many employees are at Facebook? On January 2024, there will be 132.55 million full-time employees in the United States. This is a slight decrease from the previous months. 132 million people are employed at Facebook, full-time employees. That's half of our nation right there, man. Or excuse me, it's about a little over a third of our nation. 1/3 of our nation is working at Facebook. Okay? And that's what wow. That seems to me a little high, but okay. I'm blown away from that. I'm losing my train of thought because of that. That's an incredible number. If there's someone still listening, what do you think? Inky showed us we are gods, and that those calling themselves kings or gods who rule us, we're no different, and we're no different, and we didn't need to fear or obey them. That's our government. This is what I'm trying to teach you. The government consider themselves gods, okay? They don't want you knowing what you are. They want to keep you trapped. They don't want you to know the power that exists in you through the Spirit of truth, man, when you walk in the Spirit of truth. You are divine when you're walking in the Spirit of truth. Okay, that's why they stole it from us, to keep us as slaves, to speak of magic or the Kundalini serpent knowledge, serpent rising from our root chakra to our crown chakra. The root chakra is the serpent, is the wanger, man. It's your ding dong. It's your penis. That's the serpent. Opening God's eyes and shedding our skin was heresy. Clairvoyant abilities and knowledge of medicine was considered witchcraft or potions. Our knowledge of the cosmos taken, and those who spoke against it, such as Galileo, were killed. With free will in place, they needed consent to have this power over us. How do you give them consent? By voting them into office. Okay? You give your power over to this negative kundalini energy that fucking is a serpent race. It will control you. It will have power over you. I've seen it at work 2 times in my life. And they are incredible stories how it all came. Now, it'll never happen again to me. I will see it develop. You won't get it back past me a 3rd time. My wife was shot, and I saw it develop inside of a track home area. And when I was arrested this last time by the police officers for talking to people about COVID, I saw it happen. So I understand how this hive mind works. It works just like this.
Your life is now forfeit. Why am I not dead? I deemed it not to be.
Now. So everybody in the court sits there and turns and stares straight at John Wick. And that's the hive we live in, man. It's that powerful. There's that many. Look, if you have 132 million employees at Facebook, that fucking person that they work for are all underneath the Mark Zuckerberg's power, man. That is a demon entity, okay? Zuckerberg is a fuckerberg, is what he is. He's a trash. He's probably, I'm telling you, he's probably one of those robots. He's probably an AI robot himself. I mean, look at the dude. Look at this rotten piece of shit. Look at them fucking eyes, man. You know what it looks like? It looks like an advanced Sophia. I ain't shitting you. Images of the robot Sophia. Look at that shit. They look like fucking brothers, man. Look at them. Brother and sister, Mark Zuckerberg and Sophia. There you go. Am I lying? I swear they look like brother and sister, don't they? This guy isn't human. Okay? This guy is a demon. He's a straight up demon. He's got legions of demons on him. You know who the legions are? They're you. They're all the people that are employed through this piece of shit, man. Employed through technology. We are becoming cyborgs. That's what they're trying to change us into. Trying to turn us into cyborgs. And it is hidden in plain view through Masonic allegories in the Bible itself, which, by the blessings of the Supreme Spirit, have been placed upon me. He's given me great insight to understand the 666 system. Learning symbolism, Latin and Greek, you will find the meaning within. Example 1, they have us believe 666 is evil, leading us to curse this number associated with the beast, Lucifer, and Satan. Okay, well, who are the beasts? Well, this guy here, he's a beast. I'm telling you right now. Okay, Genesis chapter 1, verse 25, Bible Hub. You bitch. Right there, folks. Okay, God made the beast of the earth according to their kinds. The livestock according to their kinds, and everything that crawls upon the face of the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Well, what God is this? This is God Elohim. It's something used. Say it again. It's used. It's used. It's used. It is not the supreme. This power, this God is the Bible as what I'm showing you. Now listen. You don't have to take my theology, okay? I'm not expecting anybody to take anything. I'm rolling with it. This is what I believe. This is what I know. This is what I read. This is what I understand. Okay. I don't care if you want to take on my theology. You know what? I'm telling you that 999 out of 1,000 don't want to take my theology. How can I say that? Because I've had this channel for 2 years now, and I've have well over 300,000 views. Now, probably only, 30,000 of them, 10% of those views watched maybe 7 or 8 minutes of any kind of content at all. So people have been exposed to this information, and I only have 392 subscribers. I just lost 3 subscribers from the few videos that I did the other day talking about Yahweh and saying that Yahweh is not the supreme God. Yahweh is the one that's wanting to prevent us from realizing that we are all gods and that we are equal to Yahweh, and that he is no stronger or no better of a God than any of us, because we are of God, infinite pieces of God, both good and evil. But it's this God here that saw that it was good. This God, creator God here, is the same God, Elohim, that's here, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 Bible Hub. Told you I was going to make a lot of connections between this Bible and what I'm reading for you today. In the beginning, again, this God here, 430 of the Strong's Concordance, is a plural of the supreme God. It's gods in the ordinary sense. This is your Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Okay? Who says that they're the beginning? In the beginning. Who is the beginning? Jesus says it. Jesus is the one that's saying that he's coming. Jesus is telling you right here in your face that he is the beginning. The beginning is the beginning of the fall. It's the beginning of centropy. It's the beginning of the materialized world. It's the earth, matter. It's the beginning of this plane of existence and its realm, which has probably been hundreds of millions of years. God is an eternal creator. So this God here was the one that fell away from the Supreme Spirit. Okay? Elohim are plural, which means many, and you have the word many in man. You have man in the word many. So they're hiding the Kundalini serpent knowledge. Serpent rising from our root chakra to our crown chakra, opening God's eyes and shedding our skin, was heresy. Now a tomb in Egypt said we are made of stardust. The biblical Adam said we are made of stardust. Stardust is abundant with carbon. We are carbon life forms, correct? The carbon atom is 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Folks, a neutron doesn't exist. It's only made up. Only protons. And there's only good and evil. Okay, there's nothing neutral. Though people try to take a neutral side, like you can't. There's no neutral side to take. We are carbon copies in their image to be like them. We are their adversaries. Adversary in Hebrew, which comes from Greek, is Satan. So we curse ourselves. Another example explaining the power hidden in the Bible is this. The word Christos or Christ is also a Greek word referring to our colostrum. Colostrum is a gold and white oil that secretes from the pineal gland out of our colostrum at the top of the spine when the third eye opens, and I've done lessons on that. Okay, the milk and honey. Well, this is the land of milk and honey. The spine has 33 vertebrae, isn't that? And the crucifixion is at the 33rd vertebrae. 33 levels of masonry, and is referred to as the Jacob's ladder. Spine and brain being the tree of life, the pineal gland being the fruit. Now they display the Christos dead on the cross and have us cannibalize this in effigy during communion. It's sick when you put your mind to it. Evil forms of magic this is to keep us blind, dumb, and obedient. There is so much more than I just explained hidden in allegories, and the Bible is not even funny. So there we are, man. We're going to close out. I hope you all enjoyed that reading. We live in a materialized world, and the Supreme Spirit of Truth wants us to return to Him in spirit. Okay? You're not going to return to the spirit in flesh, folks. It doesn't work like that. In order to get back home, you have to submit the soul to the living, back to the living, because right now we are the walking dead. You have to ask the Spirit of Truth to put His life on you, life of breath on you, the living breath upon you, so that you can return home. I hope this helps. This is White Raptor News Ministries.